A well-known Central Kentucky chef and his wife are dead, the result of a violent two-car collision on this Boyle County roadway.
What friends are telling us about a music video director who Lexington police say was shot during a robbery.
Faith and politics in a divided America. Why many evangelical Christians say they feel under attack in this country.
This is WKYT News at 6.
Good evening. A Central Kentucky husband and wife on their way to look at a house died after a crash. And tonight, the couple's friends are talking to us about how they'll be remembered.
Police say Walter and Jacqueline Bremer died after an SUV hit their car head-on yesterday afternoon on Godby Lane in Boyle County. As Phil Pendleton tells us, county leaders say it's a dangerous stretch of road. It's our top story at 6.
And the other vehicle was across the road.
Mike Wilder says it was one of the worst accident scenes he's been to in several years. One man was killed and 7 others sent to hospitals.
2 vehicles, one going north, one going south, pretty much struck head on at the crest of a hill, which was a blind hill.
54-year-old Walter Bremer died at the scene. His 50-year-old wife Jacqueline died later at UK Hospital. Wally Bremer was a chef at Seasons Catering in Lexington. He had worked for restaurants in Danville.
Wally was an all-around great guy. He was always had a good attitude, never afraid to get his hands dirty. He would do anything that we needed him to do.
State police say 28-year-old Maria Ehud was driving the SUV. She was seriously injured, but some children with her are expected to be okay. Wilder says Godby Lane is the kind of road that can be really dangerous if you're not used to it.
Those of us that live in the area and travel it quite often, it's just automatically you you get as far off to the side of the road as you can, whether you're going north or south.
State police are still investigating what caused the collision. In Boyle County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Investigators say 2 adults in the Bremer's car were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
Tonight, a man continues to fight for his life after police say he was shot during a robbery in Lexington. Police say that Coleman Saunders had just gotten out of a taxi early yesterday morning when he was shot near the intersection of North Limestone and East 7th Street. Police have not made any arrests, and as Hillary Thornton tells us, Saunders is known in the music industry as a video producer and a director.
The list of artists Coleman Saunders has helped along their careers is a long one, working recently with Kyle Douglas, Cindy Best, and J.D. Shelburne.
Coleman's helped my career. I mean, he's pushed my career to a whole new level. If it wasn't for Coleman, I'd still be where I was at last year. The work of his music video really took me to a whole new career level. We kind of hit it off like we've been friends forever. He was such a nice, polite guy. His work is extraordinary.
Saunders, someone they all see as very genuine, taking great pride in his work and overflowing with talent.
Everything he does, he gives 100% to, and if he can't give 100%, then he just won't do it.
The young but talented director fighting at UK Hospital after police say he was robbed, then shot by 3 men early Sunday morning.
There's no reason that anyone would ever deserve what happened to him.
When I first heard this news, I thought to myself, no way it's Coleman. And, we're just a little devastated right now.
Shelburne says he had just talked to Saunders a couple of days ago as the two were planning to work on a new music video next month.
We've become friends more than on a business relationship. We've become really good friends, and he's definitely a guy to have on your team, on your side. And, I just hope he can make a full, quick recovery.
Those who know him best, like Sabrina Honchel, who has worked alongside Saunders, all feel confident he will do just that.
He's very stubborn in a good way, and he looks at everything with a good sense of humor in a lot of ways. So he's definitely going to be a fighter, like in the incident itself and like moving forward, he's going to fight it.
In Lexington, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Very talented man. At last check, Saunders was still in critical condition. Lexington police are still looking for the 3 men wanted in that shooting.
1 week ago tonight, a 10-year-old Pulaski County boy was killed by a hit-and-run driver, and police still haven't been able to track down the person responsible for Stanley Turner's death. A little more than an hour from now, people in his community will come together to honor him. Victor Puente has the latest from Pulaski County.
This vigil is to remember a young boy and to spread the word about what happened to him. The person who hit Stanley Turner still hasn't been found. Turner was hit and killed 1 week ago along Rocklet Creek Road in Pulaski County. Police say he walked off from playing with his brother when he was hit. The driver left the scene. In about an hour and a half from now, a vigil to remember the young boy will begin in the parking lot of the Science Hill Post Office. It's being organized by two moms who say this could have happened to anyone. They want to support his family and ask for the public's help in finding the person responsible.
I mean, it could happen to anybody, but I mean, just the way that it happened, that was just such a tragic accident.
The organizers ask that if you do plan on attending, to park in the church parking lot across the street from the post office. That way they can keep the parking lot here at the post office clear for the vigil. It's set to begin at 7:30. In Pulaski County, Victor Puente, WKYT.
Investigators say that drivers who stopped to help Stanley had to go to a nearby home to call for help because of poor cell phone service on that road.
The Lexington Herald Leader has announced it's moving its printing and packaging operations out of town. Starting August 1st, the newspaper will be printed and packaged at Gannett Publishing Services in Louisville. The Herald Leader also plans to put its building at the corner of Main and Midland on the market. Herald Leader president and publisher Rufus Friday says the move will allow the newspaper to focus its resources on digital news, information, and advertising operations. The change will affect 29 positions in Lexington.
Some strong storms have been dumping heavy rain on some parts of Kentucky over the last few hours. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey shows us what he's tracking for us on the Defender Radar Network.
Yeah, showers and thunderstorms that are out there, mainly now confined to southeastern Kentucky. And all you have to do is look at a temperature map right now to pick up who's getting the rain versus who's getting the drier weather. It's 89 Covington, yet it is 73 into Harlan, 72 Prestonsburg, kind of sandwiched in between. Lexington checking in at 84 degrees. Down the road into Richmond, where our sky cam is looking toward, 77, where it has been raining. Feels like 86 degrees. Humidity's up there a little bit, but winds are coming at us from the north. Defender Radar Network indeed picking up on one really strong thunderstorm that is now working out of Manchester into Clay County, and it's working toward the southwest. London, boy, that grazed us just to the east. Corbin, a lot of that's going to stay to our east and head toward sections of Knox County. Barberville will keep an eye on that. You had heavy rain a little earlier. Hindman, Hazard, down to Whitesburg, some general run-of-the-mill showers and a little rumble of thunder in the southern parts of Whitley County. Hour by hour, future radar this evening does show the precipitation into southeastern Kentucky really going by the wayside. Cold front number 1 on top of the area now. Cold front number 2 is going to unleash some fantastic weather over the next few days. We've got a taste of September again that is showing up. We'll break down the timing on that. And guys, looking into the 4th of July weekend, let you know if Mother Nature may have a few fireworks in store for the region as well when I come back in a few.
All right, Chris, we'll check in with you then. Thank you. A new study says that more than half of Americans believe Christians face increasing intolerance, and many conservative evangelical Christians sense that they've been pushed to the margins of American life.
Liberals say this is paranoia, but many evangelicals fear the church is being silenced. New at 6, Miranda Combs looks at faith and politics in a divided America.
Within the walls of Christian Fellowship Church, the sounds of worship. And from Pastor Richie Clendenin, words of prophecy.
And the Bible says, in this life you will have troubles, you will have persecutions. Let me tell you, that time is here. There's nobody hated more in this nation than Christians. Welcome to America's Most Wanted. You.
Paranoia? Maybe not.
I think there's no question that evangelicals think that in one way they kind of lost their home field advantage.
Ed Stetzer is director of research at Lifeway Christian Resources in Nashville. A recent survey from there found that 2/3 of Americans believe Christians face increasing intolerance.
That's not a fringe belief. That's the majority American belief.
I believe that the voice of Christians is trying to be silenced.
Marshall County is like a lot of rural America. It's a place where faith and politics are closely intertwined. Despite this feeling of losing ground, evangelicals are still an important voting bloc.
We are going to protect Christianity, and if you look what's going on throughout the world.
19-year-old Faith Haley feels some have used religion as a political weapon.
I've seen a lot of hate and a lot of anger, and that is really upsetting, especially when it's done in the name of God.
Pastor Clendening can foresee a time in the not-too-distant future when churches might lose their tax-exempt status, or when speaking out against homosexuality might be considered a hate crime.
A lot of the issues that we're coming up against brings us to this cliff, and we're right on the edge of it.
Not surprising, there is disagreement among evangelicals themselves, particularly when it comes to the issue of LGBT rights and protections.
Oh my God, true evangelicalism starts with how you treat the poor, people who are different, and people who are on the margin.
Parishioner Adam Dunn says evangelicals have brought a lot of this on themselves.
We've really ruined the love of Jesus in North America, it seems like.
His pastor agrees. Clendening says too many Christians have earned the labels of intolerant and self-righteous.
People are not our enemies. Our enemy is Satan.
He tells his flock that the culture is shifting. The question to them is,
what will you do with your light in spite of it? Hide it under a bushel? No, I'm gonna let it shine.
Miranda Combs, WKYT.
The same Lifeway survey also found that nearly half of Americans feel Christians complain too much about how they're treated. The Kentucky Supreme Court will weigh in on Governor Bevin's decision to cut funding from state colleges and universities.
The court will hear the case on August 18th instead of it going to the State Court of Appeals first. The governor cut the budgets of state colleges and universities earlier this year without approval from the state legislature. Attorney General Andy Beshear then sued him, claiming the governor overstepped his authority. When a Franklin County judge sided with the governor last month, Beshear appealed.
In the end, this is a question about the ultimate power of the governor and what the Constitution means. So the Supreme Court needs to make this decision. In the end, I think that the winner in having it heard earlier are Kentucky's families.
In a statement, Governor Bevin's press secretary said, quote, "We are confident that the Supreme Court will agree with the Franklin Circuit Court that the governor has such authority and that the Attorney General's argument to the contrary is both an irresponsible one and an unsustainable one for a government to take." The Kentucky Department of Agriculture is taking some extra steps to protect customers at the gas pump. Police in Lexington and around the state say they're finding more credit card skimmers in gas pumps. Thieves use skimmers to steal credit card information and usually hide them behind a panel. Kentucky Agriculture Commissioner Ryan Quarles said today his department is now checking for skimmers in pumps at the state's 60,000 gas stations. We have more information on how to protect yourself from thieves at WKYT.com.
New tonight, a settlement has been reached in a lawsuit over a song played at a rally for Rowan County Clerk Kim Davis last year. According to CNN, former presidential candidate Mike Huckabee will pay $25,000 for playing the Survivor song Eye of the Tiger without the band's permission. The song was played at a rally for Kim Davis after she was released from jail. Huckabee's campaign was later sued for copyright infringement. Davis spent 5 days in jail when she defied a judge's order and refused to issue marriage licenses to same-sex couples.